Hey, so I just got back from the gym, and I need to draw up a couple of things for a lady that I'm doing some custom shelving and cabinets for, and I've never really done anything like this before, so I kind of wanted to, show you guys what it looks like and what I'm doing. Basically, we came up with 4 ideas when I came and met with her for, basically the same thing, but different materials and different styles and looks and things. So we think we've decided on one, but she kind of wanted a mock-up of all 4 so that she could see more so, what it kind of looks like, and really for me to be better because she wants to know the price on each of them as well. So once I get them all figured out, I can, figure out how much I'll need for materials in each 4, and I don't know, it'll help me out and it'll help her out. So, but since I've never done it before, I don't know, I kind of figured I'd film it and see what it looks like, in your guys' opinion, and so yeah, here we go. So I've started out by scaling everything. You can see I've already drawn one of them, and I'm kind of getting the scale from that one to draw the other 4. I've scaled it to I think 1 inch is 2 feet. So it's a 6 foot tall thing, and it's an 8 foot tall structure, and it's about 5 feet wide or so. So what I'm doing first is I'm just drawing the squares out, the perspective view of all 4 of them, and I'll start going in afterwards and filling in the file cabinets. You can see at the bottom there are 3 file cabinets, and there are 4 shelves above it. She's currently got 3 shelves in there, and they're all at differing heights and so on. So I measured it all out, and I figured you can put 4 shelves in about a foot apart from each other, and there is a slightly larger gap above the file cabinets for her to put like her printer and things like that. Also, those lines that I'm doing there are 2 feet back, is how deep the shelving units are. So now that I've gotten the basic square of the whole thing, the height, width, and depth of it, I start designing out, or I've designed out already, but I start drawing out the file cabinets to size, to scale, to make it all look uniform and give her a better perspective of all of it. They are, I believe, 2.5 feet tall, give or take, and they are 1.5 feet apart, or wide, so they've got about 1.5 inches between them, which is what I'm drawing now. These will all be handmade as well when I start. The shelving is pretty straightforward. Like I said, they're all just a foot apart in order to keep them uniform and leave enough room below for her printer and things like that. Most of the stuff that she's putting on these shelves don't need to be any bigger than a foot. there's that one done. So now I will go on to do the same thing to the other two after I finish my little snack. Now that we've got those two finished, I'm going to start with the natural wood down in the bottom left corner, which is the top right currently, because that one's going to take me the longest. What I'm doing currently is giving depth to the shelves rather than them just being a straight line. They're natural wood, so they'll be thick. Showing the supports, and then going on to draw in the grain of the wood to show the detail. The best part about using natural wood is the art that's already in the wood, how beautiful the grain of the wood is. That's why it's my favorite piece. That said, it does take absolutely forever. You'll see me now shading in the background in order to show that that is also built with wood, so it'll be darker than the rest of the options. I've also planned on making the faces of the file cabinets out of wood, where the inner structure of them will be regular MDF or something similar, to show off the wood, but to keep the price down a little bit. I will begin shading those in a moment. Now I'm moving on to the drywall shelf, which is top left for you. These are going to be the thickest shelves of the four of them, because I need to, in order to build them properly, they will need to be filled with wood and then put drywall over the top of them. This one was fairly difficult for me to figure out how to draw, but I ended up getting rid of the back. On the rest of them you can see through the shelf all the way to the back of the shelving unit, but on this one, being that they're so thick, you wouldn't be able to, so I've gotten rid of that line altogether. And on the side where I've got the inside shown, it becomes obvious that that is the actual thickness rather than the gap between. Beyond that, there's not much else I can do with this one, except to blend some of the pencil onto the page to give the illusion of the texture and the paint that she would then paint them with. The file cabinets in this instance would still be made of MDF, as would the following two that I have not designed yet. And she can paint them any color she likes. With the glass one that I'm now working on, there was a similar lack of anything I could do to show the difference in design, being that the glass would be thin and you'd be able to see through it. So she suggested we put lights in the top of the shelving unit if we decide to do the glass. So I've put those in order to show that. I can also put in the supports that would be holding up the glass, but aside from that, this one's just about done. I'll now move on to the one that's made entirely out of MDF. This is the one I believe we're already decided on because she's got a shelf similar to this in her living room. So with this one, what I'm going to do is thicken the shelves in order to show that they're not as thin as the glass ones, as well as put some trim along the sides and the front of the shelves, as that's the way that they're designed in her living room. I'll shade these in to show the pattern that's on them that you'd be routed in. I can't quite do the full detail of it. Beyond this, there's not much else I can do with any of them, so I just decided to clean them up for the most part by erasing any of the blur that I've created by wiping my hands across the page drawing the rest of them, specifically in the natural wood one so that it can show the contrast in the color, because that'll be the darkest one. Finish by cleaning up the edges and calling it a day. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it turned out pretty well. You can't really tell the difference between well, there's the one that's the natural wood, and then there's the other three. And you can't really tell the difference between the other three. I mean, I'll try to point it out as much as possible. You'd have already seen it by now. But I don't know, I think it came out pretty well. Anyways, I think it turned out okay. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, there's a little snippet of my life and my construction and what I do. Anyways, I look forward to you watching me in the future. See you later.